Okay, so Moon Knight episode 1 was a okay episode. Um, so we met Stephen Grant and Mark Spector in this episode, and Stephen worked at the museum, and pretty much everything that happened in the trailer happened in this episode, but like in the museum scenes were some of my favorite scenes. This scene in the trailer was altered a little bit.
Catch you on. You're bloody useless, Stevie.
Stephen.
It was altered to be like something else, and then when Stephen thought he was sleeping, he went to this sort of city place, which was the beginning of the city fight was the only thing I disliked about this episode, because for a Marvel movie or show, the CG was quite for the beginning. But then we went there and we met Arthur Harrow and his assistants, and he was there to see if people were naughty or nice, pretty much. And then with his scanner thing, the first man survived, like with his staff, and then the second one, the old lady, her heart was eaten, her soul was eaten by Anubis, the Egyptian god. Very sad. And then, Stephen didn't know what was happening because Khonshu was in control of him, and then, like, he kept on telling him not to give Arthur the pendant and stuff. So later on in the episode, Stephen met Arthur back at the museum, and then Arthur was just like, give it please, and then found out that there's chaos, and then, like, this scene pretty much happened.
It must be very difficult. Voices in your head. Shut up! There's chaos in you.
So then after that, Arthur left, and then there was a fight between Stephen Grant and Werewolf by Night. This was Werewolf by Night's first appearance in the MCU, and he'll be getting a Halloween special later in the year. But Stephen and Mark were like trapped in the bathroom, so then Stephen had to give Mark the body, and then this scene was pretty much how the episode ended. That was a little breakdown on Moon Knight episode 1, The Goldfish Problem. Now, I rate it a 7 out of 10, because obviously what we're expecting from Moon Knight, I'm expecting a bunch of darkish scenes in this show, and I mean, there was the beating death in this episode, but there could be some more that were too bad in the trailers. Who knows? Not that I like Darkness that much. Darkness is bad in real life. Okay, so thank you guys for watching my episode 1 review. I'll see you in my episode 2 review, or not.
Marvel Studios Moon Knight.
Okay, so Moon Knight episode 2, Son of the Suit, has officially released. I'd say it's better than the first one. Gonna put out my judgment that it is an 8 out of 10. So it began with, like, this is a little breakdown part. It began with Stevie at the gift shop, and, like, look at the security cam footage of the werewolf scene, and he's the, Jackal, I keep accidentally calling him Werewolf by Night. Like, he's a jackal, which is quite sad. But he was the only one that can see the jackal, and we'll get to that later in the video as well. But then he got fired from his museum job. Then, like, skip a few parts, he met up with his girlfriend again, pretty cool, and then he went to this isolation thing. Before I continue, I'll show you some of the very cool clips from this episode.
Stephen, you weren't supposed to see any of this.
What are you?
You sure you want to know?
Between my waking life and dreams.
Am I like some sort of secret agent? It's a little more complicated than that.
So this is when the episode starts to get, like, into a Marvel thing. So it's kind of hard to notice that this is even, like, a Marvel, like, show, because it doesn't feel like Marvel one a bit. But, like, so Stephen meets his girlfriend Layla, but he doesn't know it's his girlfriend. Then some cops come in, and then they kidnap Stephen to this place. Yeah, and then, like, it's pretty cool. Like, I thought the cops were scrolls and stuff, but then, no, I think it's before then. Oh yeah, before the cops, Stephen was taken to this place for his, like, vandalism crimes, and then, like, started to live there, but obviously he couldn't sleep, because of his Moon Knight persona, and that... No, it wasn't the same place where he met Layla. It was the same place where the secret agent scene happened, and then, like, he gave up on Mark, and then just ran out, and then met Layla, who then got him kidnapped by the people, and then he met Arthur Harrow, which was where the Summon the Suit Marvel clip happened. I'll show you the end of that clip.
Summon the suit.
Summon the suit? What are you saying?
The suit.
The suit?
Then keep this safe.
So be it.
Let's go, let's go.
Pit in Hatab to Acht Heberak.
Oh, I can't believe I forgot the big bombshell of this episode. We learned that Mark wasn't the first, like, servant of Khonshu. It was actually Arthur Harrow who was the first, like, Khonshu person. So then it was Stephen and Layla versus the big creature, and Stephen, like, fell off a building and ended up reincarnating himself as Mr. Knight, which is Stephen's version of Moon Knight. To balance out the chaos, they have Mr. Knight. But then Mr. Knight thing didn't go well. He got hit by a car. And then, yeah. So then, the only way to defeat the Jackal, Stephen transformed into Mark Spector, who transformed into Mr. Day and Night himself, Moon Knight. And then, yeah, so we saw Moon Knight beat the Jackal and, like, ended up disintegrating him on top of a clock tower, which reminded me of how Half-Faced Man died in the Doctor episode, where the Doctor pushed him out of an air balloon and impaling him on top of Big Ben. But we're not talking about Doctor Who, we're talking about Moon Knight. So, yep, Moon Knight easily defeated that guy, and then became Mark again. The amulet thing was taken, and then he bet on the glass where Stephen was. It was quite sad for Stephen. Layla ran away, and then the episode ended with Mark on this sandy place, waking up and just looking outside. I don't have a problem with this, but he was shirtless. Moving on. So yeah, I think this was a pretty good episode, and I shall rate it 8 out of 10, because the last one was a 7, this episode is better than the last one. Not too much better. I am expecting quite a lot from Moon Knight, and this... The main thing that this isn't like my favorite Marvel like show yet, is because they criminally underused Mr. Knight in my opinion. So sad. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'll see you all next time.
Marvel Studios' Moon Knight, only on Disney+.
Hey guys, welcome back to my Moon Knight episode 3 review for the friendly type. So, I'm not going to have any other clips or anything like that in this video. I'm just going to make a little fan-made teaser trailer of, like, just clips in this. So, I'll probably release it on my Shorts channel afterwards. So, I'll see you in a second.
I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Marvel Studios' Moon Knight, only on Disney+.
Alright, so we're back. So the episode began with Mark Spector chasing down Arthur Harrow from the cliffhanger of the last episode. It wasn't very cliffhanger though. And then he meets these guys, kills some kids, throws a kid off a cliff. Actually, no, the kid commits suicide and falls off the cliff. The usual, you know. And then he eventually, Khonshu calls the other, like, embodiments of the Egyptian god avatars, that's the word. Not the blue people or the anime. There's an anime, I don't know. But, like, all the avatars come together, they say this is Khonshu's last warning, and then Mark and Layla meet back up, and then Arthur and Khonshu have a nice little chat in that last warning facility place, and then Mark and Layla meet back up, and it's pretty cool because Layla's drinking out of a bag. Really want to know how she could put a straw in a bag. Anyway, so yeah, then the only way, like, so the only way that they could find out, like, the time of the star thing was to like, change time back, which alerts the other gods, and then they imprison Khonshu in this statue thing forever, and Mark somewhat dies because Khonshu isn't there, but I'm sure he'll be back later. He's seen some trailer footage because not all that fake TV spot was right. But then we see Harrow walk away with the Khonshu's statue. I wonder what he's going to do with it. That's my review of, that's like the breakdown part of my review on Moon Knight episode 3, The Friendly Type. I rate this episode a 9 out of 10. It's my favorite episode of all 3 because, like, it revealed quite a lot. We saw kids die, even though that isn't really, like, yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Guys, welcome back to another video, this is my more formal one, which I'm going to say in every episode from now on. Hello Internet, welcome to Loki Who. They're not copying off any other YouTube channels fair. But today we're doing a review for Moon Knight episode 4, The Tomb, which is just an episode that confuses me. So, the episode begins with, Layla again chased down by a couple trucks, still on that mountain from the last episode. Steven is still on the ground, and then Layla has an efficient way of killing, where she, like this episode, definitely the darkest MCU we've seen yet, but Layla, she kinda gets, like, a type of torch, and then just throws it on some bullets, making the truck explode, killing everybody inside it. Trailer time.
Stephen. Your identities. A mask to hide the scars. Embrace it.
Studios Moon Knight, only on Disney Plus.
So, the rest of the episode, so Stephen and Lila go to this tomb where we see, like, a bunch of things happen. We see these new blue men, which is what I'm calling them, because I did go to a blue man group thing one time when I was younger. I was terrified. And then we saw this guy, like, getting killed how some Egyptians were killed, where pretty much all of their organs came out and stuff. I won't talk about it anymore because I don't want this being in, like, any bad mode, because it probably will be. Yay! But, yeah, it's quite cool. What? But then Monster Beast chases Layla, and then Stephen goes to the thing, unleashes what I thought he would say Ramatut, aka Kang the Conqueror, or Apocalypse, but actually just unleashes this guy, well, this Egyptian god that is the voice of Amit, and then he has Amit's thing now, and then back over there, we see Layla doing some serious parkour action, and then she meets Arthur Harrow. And then after she meets Harrow, like, Harrow tells her some things Mark never told Stephen. First of all, Mark told Stephen not to kiss Layla. Straight away, Stephen kissed Layla. And now Mark was like, I will throw us off a cliff. But they have a much better relationship by the end of the episode. But, so, Arthur tells Layla that Mark, was with, like, the guy that killed Layla's father, and eventually Mark, that same night, which I'm guessing is Bushman in the comics. Bushman. But yeah, it's all quite sad. Then Layla tries to beat up Mark to tell him to get the truth and stuff, and then they try to leave, but Harrow's men are already there. Layla is looking in shock because after Harrow shot Mark, so now Mark is drowning, and it's quite sad because there's no Moon Knight to save him. So Mark is dead, or so we think, because now we get to that white room that we saw in some trailers, where, like, Stephen Grant is actually a world famous, like, Indiana Jones type person. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. And then, like, everybody is sort of an actor, and Stephen can hardly walk, and then Arthur Harrow interrogates him, and stuff like that. And then, well, like, in the nice interrogation, because apparently he doesn't want to hurt him, but then we get to Mark running away, and then he goes and opens a tomb, which has Stephen in it, so Mark and Stephen are actually together in person, not just through mirrors. And then right before they're about to open another tomb, which my guess is that Jake Lockley isn't there, I don't exactly know what it was. Like, the episode ended with a weird hippo. Yeah, a hippo, I can remember it now. A hippo going like, hi there. What is this show? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and make sure to go watch Moon Knight, which is streaming on Disney Plus, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Moon Knight Episode 5, The Asylum, has released. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Loki Who, and I will be describing this episode. So, Moon Knight Episode 5, in my opinion, quite a good episode, 8 out of 10, because it's, I'll make a video after the show finishes of, like, closely parallels another Disney Plus show. But this, obviously began with that hippo lady, and then, Mark woke up and was back in Arthur Harrow's Dr. Harrow's place, and then like he could speak now, so that was quite cool. And then the people put this kind of thing into him, and then Steven became smart. This whole episode is confusing. So Steven and Mark, they put their hearts, well, the hippopotamus lady put their hearts on this scale thing, like Harrow's scale, and then, it wasn't balanced, so they had to go through some memories to see if it could become balanced or something like that. Don't really make sense, but the memories, like, there was a whole restaurant full of people that, Mark killed, and then we get, the fact that in Mark's childhood it was technically his fault that his brother drowned. Sad, rip moment. And then his mother just like hated him and abused him ever since. And then he, get this, because of how much his mother abused him, he wanted a form that he could just like not be abused by, and that is when Mark made Stephen Grant, who was a famous person in a movie that he enjoyed, but only made Stephen remember the nice parts of his mother, which were all fake, because his mother was a really nasty, he got calls from his mother every day, even though those were just voicemail things. And then, we saw him with the knife that he killed Layla's dad, and, he said the person that killed everybody, including him, was Raul, I'm not gonna say his first name, because I can't pronounce it, Bushman, yeah. And then, so that might set up him to be a villain in the next episode. But yeah, then we saw the whole scene of Khonshu resurrecting Mark, and surprisingly that made it into some TV spots. So yeah, and then after that, the hearts and stuff were unbalanced, so then the hippopotamus lady had to let Mark and Steven die, and then Mark was about to get thrown off, like, the sailing ship thing, and then Steven, with, like, a bat, just started knocking their heads off and everything, and then said a motivational line like, if he can do it, I can do it. Yeah. So then, Steven fell off the boat, and he was trying to run back, but then his legs couldn't handle it, and then his legs turned to stone, and Steven died. I know, it's quite sad. Hopefully Steven gets resurrected in the final episode, but for some reason, with Steven gone, Mark was completely whole, and he was balanced again, so he was taken to heaven. That was how the episode ended. I wish that there was a post-credit scene. Sadly, I don't think there was. So, yeah, overall, 8 out of 10, pretty good, but it just makes you wonder, how is Mark going to get out of that? Is Jake Lockley going to be in the show? Is Steven going to be alive? All of these questions, but we will figure that all out next week. Goodbye. Hello there, gamers. Welcome back to another video on Jojo Turtle Loki Who Actually YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing a review for Moon Knight episode 6. By far my favorite episode. And, sadly, as you can see by, in my computer, I was in the middle of editing a review, but, like, my sound thing isn't working, so I'll just add this to the thing I was already editing. But let's begin. This episode is straight away 10 out of 10. So, began with, obviously, Mark in that, like, heaven thing, and I'm not going in order because this was just an amazing episode. So Stephen and Mark both got sort of resurrected and then came back to life, and then with the dead body and stuff. I'll explain the first bit first. Such a good episode. So Harrow and his team found Amit in Mark's like pockets, and then they took the statue out, took him to the pyramid where the Egyptian gods were, killed all of those Egyptian gods. What's it called? I forgot. And then we saw all of them die, which is just showing how powerful Arthur was. And then Layla was following them and stuff, and resurrected Khonshu there. So that was cool. And then we saw the resurrection of Amit. Amit being big crocodile lady man. And then there was a big fight between Khonshu and Amit. And then Amit won. So then Khonshu was telling Layla how much of a good avatar she would be for Khonshu, and Layla refused, even though we figured out in the post-credit scene that Khonshu was lying. So then, very epically, Moon Knight revives Mark, which was exactly what I theorized would happen, and Stephen and Mark are now pretty much sharing the body together. Just them. No other identity. Or is there? So then, there's Layla, who gets discovered by Harrow and the crew, gets, I forgot, horse lady. Oh, real quick. Yeah, Layla became the avatar of Tara. Oh, wait a second. Okay, so I'm not going to even try to pronounce it. Layla kind of became the avatar for her for a bit, and got like cool wings that she could use, and then there was a big fight. Layla, who's with her new powers and stuff, and Mark, Stephen, and Khonshu versus Harrow and Amit. So it begins with Khonshu getting pretty ended by Amit, and then, Harrow. There's a big fight between Mark and Harrow mainly, and then Layla's fighting over, goons and stuff to make sure Mark doesn't get hurt. And Stephen's there at some parts, just chilling, and then, we see, I'm just gonna cut to the end of the fight scene. This is a pretty good fight scene though, but this video is a bit long for a review, mainly because of me trying to pronounce no. So we see Moon Knight, being epic, and then Jake Lockley comes out and murders Arthur Harrow and all of his men. And you might go how do we know that's Jake Lockley? Wait a second, you impatient nerd. So then Layla and Mark take Arthur's body to a moonlight sort of thing, where Arthur. Sorry, my brother just came into my room. That's cool. And then, yeah. So Amit goes inside of Arthur. Arthur and Amit pretty much being, Amit using Arthur's body, because Arthur is kind of died. Lol. And then he gets sent to a psychiatric hospital, I'm pretty sure. And then the episode ends with Mark and Stephen waking up, and with the Every Day I Wake Up song from the first episode, how Stephen woke up in that first episode, pretty much. And this ending was very similar to Loki,
And so that makes me really think that in 2024, or maybe 2025, we could be seeing a Moon Knight Season 2, which would be really cool. But yeah, and then the post-credit scene, we saw Harrow getting taxied away from his hospital thing, like home or something. And then Khonshu was in the car, even though... So then Khonshu and Emmett were talking, and then, like, Emmett said, "You can't hurt me." And then Khonshu said, "Well, meet my friend, Jake Lockley." And then Jake pointed a gun at Emmett, shooting Emmett. Goodbye, Emmett. Goodbye, Harrow. And goodbye, all of you. I rate this episode 10 out of 10. And as I said before, I'll probably make a full review of the show tomorrow. And goodbye.